Tang gang, what's poppin', man? So, some strange things will happen to you once you start to become isolated, more to yourself, being alone. You're gonna see some things or some changes occur in your life. All right, so before we get into that, make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you smash that notification bell. Check out my 30-day semen retention course. Whether you're new or advanced on this journey, I have some day-to-day techniques that you can use to help you no matter where you're at on your journey. If you join the Retain Gang community, you get the course for free along with many other perks. We do weekly live calls and discussions. You get to be a part of a soul tribe, and there's much more content that you'll be introduced to, all right? So I want you guys to know that being alone isn't always a bad thing. Now, we know life is about balance. So too much of anything is a bad thing. All right. There's a time to play and there's a time to work. There's a time to relax. There's a time to be to yourself. So when you find yourself being alone and it almost seems like it's being done deliberately, right? Do not try to resist that. This is a time for you to embrace that space. All right. Because I'm going to tell you why. There's some strange things that's going to happen to you once you do this. For one, you're going to be more energized. It's going to refuel you. Okay? Sometimes, man, we out here too much to the point where we drain our energy. Or we have people around us draining our energy. So we never get the chance to experience our full potential because our battery is always low. See what I'm saying? Give you guys an example. Let me know if you can relate to this in the comment section. You know, when I was working 8-hour shifts, sometimes 12-hour shifts, 5, 6, even 7 days a week, I noticed that my energy was low, right? Just being at the workplace, being around all these strangers, all these different energies, my energy was drained. Right, I was looking tired, bags underneath my eyes. My emotions wasn't right. My spirit wasn't right. But notice, whenever I had a few days off, or even just getting off work, clocking out, I noticed that my energy would rise up immediately. Having a couple days off, I noticed that I started looking fresh again. I started getting that glow. My emotions were balanced out, right? I was in a better mood. So I say all that to say this: being around people too much, it can steal your life force. Just like at your job, being around all these people all the time can steal your life force. So you need that time alone to be in your own space so that you can refill yourself. Claim all your power back to you. Right? It's an affirmation I want you guys to say to yourself. You know, I reclaim all my power to return back to me. Any energy that I've left behind, any energy that was stolen from me, or any energy that I've given away, I reclaim all that energy to return back to me. It's a powerful affirmation. And you feel it return immediately. But I want you guys to say this to yourself, because if you find yourself being alone, it's because you're being put in this position so that you can reclaim your power back. You get what I'm saying? So this is a strange thing that you might see happen, and it's not a bad thing. Don't take it that way. Some of us simply need a break. You need a break from people. You need a break from society. You're giving away too much of yourself. Now it's time for you to focus on you. You get what I'm saying? Another strange thing that will occur is you'll notice that you start having more dialogue with your inner self, your inner voice. Being alone gives you a chance to navigate yourself. Right? A lot of folks don't know who they are because they never spend time with themselves. Never had a conversation with themselves. Right? I'm sure we all know somebody who always got to be outside. They always got to be in people's face. Never alone. Right? Folks that always got to be in a relationship. Right? As soon as they break up with one person, they already jump into another relationship. And they never navigate themselves. They never heal themselves. And they're just taking all this trauma, all this baggage into their next life experiences, the next stage of their life. So you are being called to be alone so that you can navigate yourself and figure out what you need to do to experience your best version. Okay? A lot of folks are afraid to be alone because as soon as they're by themselves, it gets quiet. Those demons start to surface. Those insecurities, those traumas start to surface. And now you have to deal with it. You know, they say you can hide your true self. You can lie all you want to other people. But the one person you can't trick is yourself. You can't lie to yourself. You can't hide from yourself because you are with yourself 24/7 your whole life. So when you by yourself, that's when you start to call out the BS. Man, you know you was BSing today out there. That ain't you. You know you don't like this. Why you faking it? Why you not being real with yourself? Right? Being alone forces you to be real with yourself. Take accountability. A lot of folks don't want to do that. So they distract themselves with people, with friends, being outside, instant gratification, anything to take their mind away, right? To make it loud so they can't hear their inner self, their inner dialogue. All right? You can't be afraid of it though. This is how we evolve and transform. You got to listen to that inner voice. That's your higher self, the most high, the source that's within you, trying to help you get yourself right. And sometimes growth is painful. But would you rather go through the pain now and reap your rewards? Or would you rather to keep going through the same cycle, the same loop? You stuck in a vortex, experiencing the same thing over and over again because you're not learning your lesson. Get rid of this stagnant energy. That's what you're being forced to be alone for, to get rid of stagnant energy. All right, and that gets to my next point. Another strange thing that will happen to you is you start to time travel. You start to shift through different dimensions when you're alone. You see, sometimes we can't take everybody where we want to go, or we're trying to go. Everybody's not meant to go there, right? Their GPS is not programmed to go to your destination. You see, so sometimes we meet people for a season and for a reason. But when that time is up, it's time for us to go our separate ways and transform, shift into another reality, right? So you'll notice when you're alone, right, you start making all these jumps and strides in your life. You start thinking different, you get focused, because all this is your fuel to blast you into a different reality of yourself. Think of it like, you know, if you watch like Star Trek or something like that, when they jump or they warp to these different galaxies, right? So think of it like you're in a galaxy right now, this universe right now that you're in. All the ships that you see around you are people that you meet in this time, in this space. But when it's time for you to warp to a new universe, all these people and ships that's around you, they're not warping where you go, right? Because they're not meant to. This is their space. You're about to warp into a new space, so you can't take all those ships with you. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes we have to be alone because it's time for us to warp into a new space. And the only way we can do that is by ourselves. Remember, despite whoever you meet in your life, you still have your own personal journey you have to embark on. Regardless of who you meet or who you're with, you still have your own transformation that you're going through each and every day. Some people come into your life to help you or aid you in your transformation. You might need somebody else's energy to jumpstart yours. And once they achieve that mission, they're out of your life, and vice versa. Okay, so a lot of you guys are alone right now, man, because you're going through that shit, right? You're switching dimensions, and all dimensions are is just another angle, right? If I put a person on each corner of this room, right, we're all going to have a different perspective on what this room looks like because we are seeing it from different dimensions, different angles. Nobody in this room is going to have the same perspective of what this room looks like because we're all looking at it from a different position. So in order for you to switch positions, you got to be alone. And a lot of folks don't understand this. You know, when you spend this time alone and you grinding out the way, focused, tunnel vision, you don't even realize that you're traveling through different dimensions, through different realities of yourself. You might not notice it because you with yourself every single day, you know, and everything looks the same, but no, you're warping. You're going through different realities, different galaxies. See what I'm saying? This is why some people don't, they drop out your life and you never hear from them again. You never see them again because they're in a whole different reality than what you are right now. They gotta understand this. When you don't see people come around you anymore, it's not just because, oh, I can call them up and get them back in my life. No, you're in a different reality. You still have memories of that person, but you're not interacting with them anymore or speaking to them anymore. You're not in the same reality. See what I'm saying? So being alone is going to help you in the long run to find yourself, find your purpose, find self-awareness. Okay? Sometimes you can't do that when you got all these energies beating down on yours, influencing your space, influencing your thoughts. Right? I'm not saying you got to be alone forever. Like I said, there's pockets. But for the most part, you better be comfortable being alone. If you're not comfortable being by yourself, then you got some work to do. You should never need anyone to validate your inner self, to make you feel confident or make you feel loved. That's your responsibility. And some of us, we got to learn the hard way by losing everything, losing people, right? Losing all the attention and being to ourselves so you can finally be your own best friend. So you can finally learn how to love yourself, learn how to be confident in yourself. So embrace it. Don't try to force against it. Don't try to push against it. Right? When you need someone to come into your life, it's going to happen naturally. If you want to have friends and you want to be outside, it's going to happen naturally. You don't got to force that. Okay? So allow yourself to learn and grow during this time. This is another strange thing that will happen is it's going to heighten your awareness. So when you spend time alone, you start to see the truth. You start to break the illusion of what was around you. You know, you might have had some people in your circle that were snakes, but you didn't pick up on it when you was around them all the time because you were so distracted with all these different energies and different people playing on your surroundings. So you didn't notice the snakes in your circle. But after spending some time alone, you start to think about things in certain situations that you were in. You're like, wait a minute. I remember this person said this when I did this. That rubbed me the wrong way. You know, I didn't catch it then, but now I'm thinking about it. It didn't rub me right. You know what I'm saying? And you start to pick up on little things like this. Your environment, people you surround yourself with, you start to realize that a lot of folks didn't really have your best interests at heart. You might have had some good people around you too. You start to pick up on the small details. Us being outside and being around people, we lose sight of the small details. It's too loud for you to pay attention. It's too many people that has influence on your spirit and your energy. So a lot of times our thoughts and things like this, the way we feel, it's not even our energy. We're picking it up from someone else. Right? So you'll notice, man, the awareness is going to heighten. All right? You're going to be able to sniff out the fakes from the real. You're not going to just let anybody come into your space and take advantage of you because you start to set standards and self-worth for yourself. Okay? When you need people to validate you, you lower your self-worth a little bit. You lower your standards because your standards are based off of somebody else and how they feel about you. You learn how to feel a certain way about yourself and have confidence in yourself. Forget what anybody else think about you. This is what I think. This is what I stand on. And if you don't like it, oh well. Right? Being alone helps us to manifest things. You become a magnet instead of a chaser. A lot of people stuck in this rat race, chasing things, chasing. And you never catch it because when you chase something, it's going to run away from you. Right? This is why I used to enjoy fishing when I was younger, man, because fishing is a game of patience. Like fishing, you put the bait on the hook, you cast out the line, and you wait for something to bite it. You're not out there swimming, trying to catch a fish and, going crazy. You sit back and you wait. You already put the affirmation out there, right? You put the bait out there, you waiting for something to catch it. So when you're being alone, you start to learn this principle that you don't need to chase anything in your life, right? All you gotta do is put the idea out there, put the bait out there, and something's going to attract it. Something's going to be attracted to that bait. So I'm saying that's all we gotta do. You are more powerful than you think you are. And the only way that you understand your power and start to operate in your power is by knowing who you are. You got to know yourself. You can't tell me if you always outside 24/7 that you know yourself. It's a hard thing to do. So you guys let me know in the comment section, how do you feel when you're alone? Do you feel empowered? Do you feel lonely? I like to know what you think about that. I hope this can resonate with you guys. Hey, if you need to speak with me one-on-one, I do consultations. I'll leave a link in my description and in my pinned comments. Check out the 30-day semen retention course and the Retain Gang community, man, if you're looking for your soul tribe. All right, so with that being said, peace, love, and abundance, and I'm out.